focused on your appearance, your looks, your weight. It is crazy. The things that these women have to do. The human body isn't really designed to jump up in the air and then just split and land. She just had to get going with those surgeries. It becomes your whole entire life to be a part of this organization. I was a fan, but apparently Kelly and Judy weren't. Do they burn them? Like, do they sell? Well, obviously they don't sell them. But what happens to them? So if they want women that are qualified to that level, they need to pay them, because let me tell you something. I've tried doing the Thunderstruck routine. We've all tried it. Don't lie. You tried a high kick. So did I. It's fine. So the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders are a cheerleading group that started gaining popularity in the 1960s, made up of 36 girls. To be honest, I didn't really know much about them before this Netflix documentary. The only other time that I had heard of the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders before this was when I was watching one of Demi Lovato's documentaries, and she mentioned that her mum used to be one of the cheerleaders. So I always remembered it from that, but to be honest, I didn't have a clue about the team, about the process, how they work. So this Netflix documentary taught me everything I know. There's an audition that takes place every year. It's online auditions. They start from May, and then going on to a first and second audition. The girls have to re-audition every single year. It doesn't matter if you've been on the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders for the last 4 years of your life, you still have to audition to get that 5th year. It's never guaranteed. If they see that there's a rookie who's a better fit for the team, they could kick you off. It's really ruthless. But it's also their way of ensuring that they have the best team of the most talented girls, which is, I think, what makes them so great. They really stand out. A lot of them have mums who were DCCs as well, but again, that doesn't guarantee anything, which I think is the fairest way to do things. You have to make the team based on your own talent, on your own merit. Throughout this video, I'm also going to be talking about Kelly and Judy. For reference, Kelly is the director of the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders, and Judy is the choreographer. So they both have really important roles in the team. They've both been Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders themselves. They've both been in charge of the team since the 90s. In this video, I'm going to talk you guys through the Netflix documentary, and I'm also going to show you guys how I did this Victoria inspired makeup. If you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. So the reason why I chose Victoria specifically is because I feel like her makeup is just the epitome of cheerleader makeup. You know, in those early 2000s movies where you see like the head cheerleader and whatever, and her hair is always perfect and her makeup and everything, that is Victoria. Also, she's kind of the one that stood out to me because she was so open throughout the documentary about all of her struggles with an ED, a potential ED, body image issues, which I think a lot of the girls probably have those issues being a DCC. They're just so focused on your appearance, your looks, your weight. For anybody that doesn't know, they used to have a documentary years ago that was 10 times worse than this one. They would pick the girls apart in the auditions. They would say, oh, you're looking a bit thicker here, you're not toned enough for this. And, you know, I understand it's a requirement as part of the job, but also it was kind of harsh. So Victoria was very open about her struggles. She was very open about feeling left out of the team sometimes because she took a year off for her mental health. I'm just going in with my baby pink blush and my more ready pink blush as well, because Victoria always has very matte pink cheeks. So Victoria's story is that she actually auditioned for the first time when she was about 19, I think. She didn't make it the first time. Her mum is best friends with Kelly. They were on the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders together. Victoria didn't make it the first time. She re-auditioned the next year and she then made it. So she was on the team up until she took the break. She was also very open about how her mum, it feels like her mum is like her best friend, and I'm like, I can relate. The audition process is very intense, to say the least. So the girls start off auditioning in a room full of judges. Some of the judges, to be honest, no disrespect, but I don't know why they're there. They had somebody that was some sort of a lifestyle influencer or something, which I understand, that's an achievement in itself, but also what does this have to do with dance or being a cheerleader? So the girls do their first audition in front of them, then they move on to the second audition, which is on the turf, and they have to practice the Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, the signature Thunderstruck routine, which is the main highlight of the DCCs, so that the judges can see how they perform doing a DCC routine. After the second audition, they then go to training camp. I think it's about 2 weeks. It seems very intense. They practice all of the routines. I think they have to learn about 50 different DCC routines that they'll perform out on the pitch on game days. Netflix does a really good job of taking you through the whole entire audition process. I'm just going in with this pink powder here. The Netflix documentary also takes you through the day-to-day life of these girls. Majority of them have to have full-time jobs in order to keep supporting themselves alongside being a DCC. So what majority of them will do is they will work whatever regular, 9 to 5 that they have, and then they will be in rehearsals for the DCCs every day from 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. And the main reason for this is because of the lack of pay being an NFL cheerleader. I don't know what the pay is for the other teams, but for the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, the girls were saying their pay probably as much as a Chick-fil-A worker. For the amount of things that they have to do, the amount of routines, that is insane. Cuts are made throughout the documentary, throughout the whole training process for it could be for any random reason. For example, one of the girls got cut simply because of her height, and she was one of the girls that auditioned the year before. She didn't make it and she came back to re-audition. Bearing in mind, she moved her whole entire life to Texas. She stayed in Texas for a year just so she could re-audition for this specific thing, only for them to then say on the very last day of training camp, by the way, you're not gonna make it because you're too short. It's like, did you not see her height? Like, this makes me so angry. I don't know if I'm personally triggered because I'm 4'11", but could you not see her height from a year ago? Like, really? And then one of the other girls, Anisha, who was so amazing. She is a great dancer. I still don't even fully understand the reason why she got cut, to be honest. I've watched this documentary probably I'm watching it for the 3rd time now, and I just don't understand why they cut her. She was an amazing dancer, and the main piece of criticism that I heard Kelly say was, so if we took pictures of your high kicks, we'd have a picture of really nice long legs, but then we'd have basically your feet are looking floppy. But it's like, she can fix that. She just needs to learn how to, have straighter feet. All of these girls are very new to all of these routines. Like, this was during training camp, so they would have only been doing those routines for a couple of days. So I still don't fully understand why she got cut. I think it may have been because, I could be wrong, but they were rehearsing and she just went a bit too hard. She rolled her ankle. She was injured, so she couldn't do the rehearsals properly, but you could tell she was really trying to not let it get to her and not let it affect her and not let it affect her performance. So I'm not really sure what the thought process was for Kelly and Judy. Were they just like, oh, she's injured, she's not gonna be able to rehearse this, just cut? I don't know what it was, but cuts can be very harsh and for just the most random reasons. Also, one of the girls, I think it was Caroline, was saying how if the uniform just looks right on you, if it just looks like you're meant to be in that uniform, then you can make it through. But if they have the fitting day and it's not looking right on you, you're out, you're cut. So that's also another reason why the uniform fitting episode as well was very intense, to say the least. They would measure every single part of the girls, and I mean like things that you wouldn't even think to consider before. For example, they showed one of the girls having the distance between her belly button and where the shorts stop being measured. I have never in my life measured the distance between my belly button to the trousers or even thought about that. So this is the kind of stuff that it's very, very specific, and you have to be a very specific size and measurement to be able to even fit in that uniform. Those shorts look tiny. They look amazing, but they look really tiny. So I'm going in with some big wispy lashes because the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders always have huge eyelashes. Victoria specifically has quite long, just super glamorous looking eyelashes. I love her makeup so much. Once the girls make the team, there's still a bunch of strict rules that they have to follow. Again, all very specific things. For example, they can't fraternize with any of the Dallas Cowboys players. I don't think it's specific just to the Dallas Cowboys, to be honest. I think it's all NFL players. But I think that's kind of crazy to prevent them from fraternizing with the Dallas Cowboys. If the team are traveling somewhere, would the cheerleaders not be going to the same places along with them to cheer for them? So why can't they be friends? Or even if they are dating, like, as long as it doesn't affect their performance, like, what's the big deal? I mean, that's just my personal opinion, but that's one of the rules. They also have very strict rules about hair and makeup, so they have to always be in full glam, glam, glam all the time. They have to curl their hair, big bouncy curls. It looks amazing though. Also, the makeup, they need to have makeup in rehearsals as well. So many things. Okay, I'm just sticking on these eyelashes, making them face as upwards as I can. I've noticed that when you put them on facing higher up, they just make your eyes look so much bigger. Like, look at this, look at the difference. It's insane. Also, another thing we have to talk about is the intensity of the routines for this team. It is crazy. The things that these women have to do, they're so talented. I don't know how they have time to learn all of this alongside a regular 9-to-5 job. I think the craziest one that I've seen is definitely Thunderstruck. Doing the high kicks and also the jump split at the end is insane. But this is also kind of part of the reason why post DCC, a lot of these girls end up having damage to their bodies. So in the documentary, they interviewed a couple of former cheerleaders who've spoken about how they needed to have foot surgery, hip surgery. A lot of them had back damage as well from doing the jump splits. I mean, it makes sense. The human body isn't really designed to jump up in the air and then just split and land. One of the main girls that we see living her post-DCC life is Caroline. She did all 5 of her years because you can only do a maximum of 5, and she's recently retired, which I think the term retired is insane for somebody who's probably about 25 years old. So Caroline is no longer a DCC, and she talks about how as soon as she left the team, she just had to get going with those surgeries. She had to get her foot surgery. I think she's meant to have a hip surgery. She had to get going with that ASAP. And at the same time, she also had her sister auditioning to be a DCC as well. It was a huge change in lifestyle for her. She went from being at rehearsals every day, dancing every day, and being surrounded by all of these girls who you become friends. You spend so many hours together, to then being at home, recovering from a surgery, which probably takes a good 3 to 6 months. It's a huge change in lifestyle, and it must be a huge change mentally as well. So for the lips, I'm going in with my pink lip liner because Victoria always has very baby pink lips. It's like the girliest makeup. I love her makeup so much. And she always has a really nice baby pink lipstick as well. This is the sleek Matte Me lipstick in the shade Birthday Suit. It's all very matte. This is what I've noticed with the cheerleaders, which makes sense if you think about it. If anybody's seen their hairography, it really makes sense. They are swinging their hair around the whole entire time in those routines. If you had lip gloss on, chaos, like pure chaos. Imagine the hair getting stuck in the gloss while they're trying to swing it back around. No, definitely matte is the way to go for the DCC vibes. That's something that the girls speak about as well, is once you've finished being a DCC, because it's so intense and it becomes your whole entire life to be part of this organization, to keep auditioning every year, to keep yourself in shape, to make sure you reach DCC standards every time. A lot of them don't really know what to do once all of that is over. A lot of them talk about this feeling of just being lost and kind of just not even knowing what's next. Also, I nearly forgot to do my bottom eyelashes because Victoria always has big, nice, long bottom lashes as well. It's actually something that she kind of got told off for in the documentary. So this is another thing that they do. During each game, throughout the routines, they're gonna take pictures of the girls, like just random snapshots of them in different poses, different angles. And then Kelly and Judy will go through the pictures after the game and they will analyze everything. And I mean everything. It's gonna be like, why does it look like your muffin top's hanging out here? Why is your makeup like this? Are your eyebrows always like that? And one of the things that they said to Victoria is, Kelly literally called her into the room and was like, you have too much mascara on, like do not do this with your bottom eyelashes. But I kind of thought they looked amazing, I'm not gonna lie. I was a fan, but apparently Kelly and Judy weren't, so whatever. I don't know if this is real DCC standards makeup, but this is what Victoria does and this is the vibe we're going for. Okay, so this is the finished DCC Victoria inspired makeup. At the end of the day, being a DCC, as intense of a role as it is, they have insane standards, they have insane requirements. It is an honor and a legacy, and to be honest, I think this Netflix documentary just did such a good job of walking you through the whole process of everything from the auditions to actually making it to the game days, to the team, to all of these things. It was really entertaining to watch, and I'd really recommend it to anybody who, even if you don't have an interest in dance or cheerleading, I mean, I really wasn't that interested in either of those things up until now, but it's a really, really good documentary. They also always have big bouncy curls, so I'm gonna go and do my heatless curls and I will be back. Comment below what moments stood out for you guys from the Netflix documentary, and also who your favorite DCC is. As I said, I think Victoria is mine, but I also really love Kelly from, oh my god, where is she from? Was it Milwaukee? No, it wasn't Milwaukee. Kelly from Weehawken, New Jersey. That's the one. That's the one I'm thinking of. Oh my god, she seems so sweet. She got cut as well. I felt really bad. They changed her hair from blonde to brunette. But she looks amazing, brunette, by the way. Like, she made the random update. She made the team, the 2024 team, and she dyed her hair. You know how when they first dyed it, it was like this awkward, like, mousy shade of brown. It was this weird, like, it was just too much of a soft brown, and now she's gone full on like chocolate brown. I love it. I think she looks amazing, and I'm so happy for her. She made it to the team. So the heatless curls are done. I hope Victoria would approve. Let me know if you guys want a separate tutorial on the heatless curls, because my hair's so long now. I found that regular curls just do not hold. I need to do them heatlessly. And one last thing before I go, you know what else I think is weird? This is another thing about the team. Even if you make it, you've done your 5 years, you've retired, you still gotta keep that uniform. The uniform that's specifically fitted to your body, your exact measurements, you can't keep it. It has to go back to them. I don't know what they do with it. I wonder, like, do they just keep it as, like, for the memories, or, like, do they burn them? Like, do they sell? Well, obviously they don't sell them. But what happens to them? I'm actually really curious. I also put on these stud earrings. I noticed that all of the girls only wear stud earrings, including Victoria. So even when she's off duty. So these are the most Victoria earrings that I could find, just my biggest studs. So if anybody's a dancer, comment below, is this like a dance thing? Because I remember in PE when they'd say to you, don't wear hoop earrings in case it like rips out your ear if something gets caught in it. Like, is it because of that? Is it like for safety purposes? Either way, it looks good. My final takeaway from this as well is the pay issue. I just think it's the most outrageous part of this documentary. I understand the requirements they have. I understand it's a job at the end of the day. If that's the way that they want their team to look and perform, completely get it. Fair enough. But at least pay them fairly, please. I think that it's the most unfair part of all of this, considering that the owner of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders is worth $13 billion. That's 13 with a B, with a B. So you couldn't at least spare like a couple more hundreds? You could probably do a couple of thousands for them as well. Like, let's be real. You couldn't spare a little change for them? No? I mean, what's like a few $1,000s for a billionaire? It's nothing. Especially if they want women that are that qualified and that talented. You don't get that talented just by doing dancing here and there. You have to be super regular, practice all the time, be really good at what you do. So if they want women that are qualified to that level, they need to pay them, because let me tell you something. I've tried doing the Thunderstruck routine. We've all tried it. Don't lie. You tried high kick. So did I. It's fine. It's embarrassing. I couldn't do it at all. At all. Do you know how hard it is to do those high kicks? Okay? Now imagine doing the jump splits. I think I'd die. So these women that are already there that can do these high kicks and jump splits, just pay them fairly. Pay them what they're worth. Okay? Anyway, guys, please let me know in the comments below what your favorite moment was from the DCC documentary, who your favorite cheerleader was, and also any future video ideas. Do you guys want a part 2 for this? The heatless curls tutorial? Let me know what you guys want, and please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe.